Good evening. It's Mr. Ingram, and I am here for Twas the night before school. Welcome to all of our Dunbar families, all of our friends, and anyone who may be watching. As you begin to watch this broadcast this evening, I want you to be sure to like and share this with your networks because we always want to share the amazing work that's happening here at Dunbar Elementary School. Before we begin this evening, I would be remiss if I did not stop for just a second to recognize the hard work of the teachers and staff here at Dunbar Elementary School. Parents, family, community members, our staff has worked relentlessly to prepare for our students. They've been back for about 2 weeks, preparing, getting really solid around the different platforms that we'll be using this year, working with each other, collaborating with teachers from other schools, collaborating in-house, even so much so as hosting demo day and even doing model lessons with each other where we gave feedback and we're just getting better together. We're ready for tomorrow, August 31st, the first day of school. And we hope that each and every one of you all will be logged in beginning at 8 a.m. so that we can begin what is sure to be an amazing school year. Now, I know we all are feeling a little shaky around this whole virtual space, but boys and girls, teachers, staff, families, I am going to ask once more and again that we be patient with each other and ourselves and extend grace to one another. This is a moment like none other. We are turning the corner in what public education looks like for years to come. And so we're going to maximize this moment. We're going to make the best of it. But through this journey, there are going to be many, many hiccups. And so we're going to show grace and we're going to extend patience to one another as we navigate our new normal together. So you all see my shirt, and I definitely want to dedicate tonight's broadcast to Mr. Chadwick Boseman. You know, many of us over the weekend have just been internalizing and digesting the news that Mr. Boseman, Black Panther, or T'Challa as we know him, had passed. And I just believe that there is something special in his story. You know, boys and girls, we know him as a superhero, but for the last 4 years of his life, privately, he has been battling for his life. He had been diagnosed with a debilitating disease, and you know, he could have sulked in that moment. He could have allowed himself to be sad, and I'm sure there were moments of that. But as I think about what happened in the last 4 years of his life, it's truly amazing and astonishing that he was able to produce his best work. We're talking about a man who has portrayed everybody from James Brown to Jackie Robinson to Thurgood Marshall and Black Panther. He's our superhero, not only in the movies, but in real life. And I think there's a lesson for us to be learned in it. Boys and girls, even as we encounter this new normal, we have to maximize the moment, or else the moment will maximize us. You know, Chadwick Boseman took the opportunity to continue to make feature films and give speeches and inspire the masses, and that legacy will live on for years to come. And so I ask you today, as we begin school tomorrow and we move into this new normal, how will you handle this moment? Will you maximize it, or will you let it maximize you? Boys and girls, the choice is yours. And I just believe that all of my pandas here at Dunbar Elementary School are ready to raise the bar through the arts, academics, and excellence. And so to our brother Chadwick Boseman, we salute you and may you rest in power and in peace. Wakanda forever, my brother. So tonight's story is one called Goodnight Memphis by Grace Hammond Skertich. And before I begin this book, I want to shout out the person who gave it to me. She is a mentor, and even though we don't get to talk all of the time, I want Dr. Carol Johnson Rawls to know how much I appreciate her. I've held this book for about 5 years. When she first gave it to me, I knew it was a special book, but I wanted to be able to share it at the perfect time. For those of you who know Dr. Johnson, she was the former superintendent of Memphis City Schools and has gone on now to serve in many other capacities, and she's the current interim president of Lemoyne-Owen College. But Dr. Johnson is a woman of integrity, and she has such epic timing. She knows what to do and when to do it. And I just am so inspired and in awe of her leadership. And so I felt tonight was the perfect time to bring out this book as I wish my pandas a good night. And so we're going to jump right into this book because I want you guys to get into bed. Remember, school starts promptly at 8 a.m. and you're late at 8:15. And so I want you to get at least 8 hours of rest so that you can get breakfast in the morning and be ready at those workstations, pencils, paper, and your supply. Make sure, and when I say supply, that means make sure that you have your charger and an extension cord or a power strip, because we know the device is only going to last for about 4 hours, and we don't want you to miss a second of instruction on Monday morning or for the rest of the school year. So make sure that you have those supplies at your workstations already ready so that you can have a successful day of learning. So boys and girls, let's dig in. Without further ado, it is Goodnight Memphis. Good night, Mississippi River, and tugboats floating by. Good night, FedEx planes flying high in the sky. Did you all know that the Mississippi River is one of the largest rivers in the United States of America? Look it up. You got those new devices, let's make some fun out of it. In addition, FedEx is one of the major employers here in the city of Memphis. Good night, Beale Street, rhythm and blues. Good night, Graceland, Elvis's blue suede shoes. Did you know that millions of people come to Memphis every year to celebrate Elvis, who lived at Graceland, and also to visit Beale Street, home of the blues? Good night, Peabody ducks that go quack. Good night, Pronto Pup stand, best place for a snack. Good night, Orpheum Theater Show. Good night, Memphis Grizzlies. They don't bluff, you know. Good night, Tiger Stadium. The paws show you the way. Good night, Children's Museum, where I go to play. Do those places sound familiar? They should. They're right around the corner from our school. Good night, Pink Palace, biggest house I've ever seen. Good night, Shelby Farms. Let's keep it clean. That's a great place to go and exercise and be socially distant with your families, right off of Walnut Grove. Good night, animals that live at the zoo. Good night, MPD officers who protect me and you. Good night, AutoZone Park and Redbirds baseball. Good night, Huey's, where I can write on the wall. Now, if your parents take you there, let them know it's okay. Everybody writes on the wall, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but they shoot toothpicks in the air. It's kind of like a contest that they have there. One of the coolest places to eat in Memphis. Good night, Rendezvous Barbecue. It's the real deal. Good night, BB King and his guitar, Lucille. Good night, Shiny Pyramid and the downtown skyline. Good night, Gibson's Donuts, favorite treat of mine. Did you know that at one time the Grizzlies and the Memphis Tigers both played in the Pyramid? That was long before we had the FedEx Forum. Now this building is the Bass Pro Shop, where we have lots of cool activities to do in there. You can buy things and visit, go to the restaurants, and there's even a hotel in there. Such rich history. Good night, St. Jude kids and parents too. Good night, doctors and nurses, taking good care of you. We really want to celebrate and shout out our healthcare workers who have truly been taking care of us through this global pandemic known as the coronavirus. Goodnight Sun Studio, birthplace of rock and roll. Goodnight Memphis, the city with so much soul. That's who we are, boys and girls. We are Memphis, and SCS is certainly 901. Listen, boys and girls, I know you have those first day jitters and nerves. So do your teachers, and so do I. But what I do know is, as we always do here at Dunbar Elementary School, we are going to rise to the occasion, and we're going to raise the bar in every single area. This year will not be lost on instruction. Rather, it will be an opportunity for you to not only get stronger academically, but to learn those soft skills of communication and learn how to work through various platforms and networks so that you will be truly college and career ready when you leave Dunbar Elementary School. Boys and girls, we're so excited about this year, and we want you to get ready to go to bed now so that you can be ready for the first day of school in the morning, August 31st, 2020. It's been my pleasure, and thank you for joining me for Twas the Night Before School. Good night, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. See you soon, Team Dunbar.